We good?
And we're back with another episode of Straight Talk with Postgrad Recruit with your host, Jarrell Archer. He's back this week. Jarrell, tell him who we got on tonight.
All right. So we got a special guest. His name is Devin Hextall, current pro. If y'all don't know about, overseas football, he plays for what's it? Las Reyes. What's the city name again, Devin?
Let's go.
Jalisco in Mexico. So he's going into year two. Former D1 athlete at Utah State. We got him on the show, so we're gonna show him some love, chop it up, and just talk football. You
Yep,
know,
yep. Appreciate y'all having me on here, man.
show for show.
So, Archer, I just heard you asking him, man. So you asked him when training start back again. When training start back for you, bro?
Next month about 35 days, about or 32, something like that.
So a lot of people don't know that they play in football in Mexico. Let us know something about that.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I didn't know either until last year. So, found out about the league. Well, I first was in Europe, and one of my friends in Europe that I played on the team with told me about Mexico and how the pay was compared to Europe. So, I was interested in it, but I didn't really do too much research beyond. But some months went by, and a team from Mexico reached out to me, and it was pretty much way better than what I expected. It was a fun season, everything all around. Like it's definitely pretty legit down there, and that's something I was surprised about, especially in comparison to other countries and how they play football. They definitely got something good going on down there.
Right. So I played a little bit in Europe, man, and it happened about the same way. Somebody I was playing arena football, and one of the cats he played basketball actually, and he was telling us about playing overseas and about a site that he used to get overseas.
Hmm.
And when I got cut from arena football, I was like, man, let me see what this is about. I was just playing around with it. I was like, let me just see what this is about. And and if you know, shoot, on Monday I was talking to a team from Croatia. That next Monday I was in Croatia. It was crazy.
Hmm. Yeah,
You
that's how
know
it
what I
happened.
mean? And that's just how it happened. So I mean, so that was up, man. So you said to pay a little different in Mexico, huh?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
How many teams is in Mexico?
Um, I think it's 9, and it'll be two more teams added next year, so it'll be 11. So
Okay,
it's a nice,
cool.
it's a nice. You play what we play 10 game season, and then two playoff games in the championship.
All right,
So
cool. So is it a lot of Americans playing there?
Yeah, it's about that. That's what makes Mexico stand out compared to the other leagues. We got about 14 Americans per team. Next year it'll be 16. So we're trying to
yeah,
get the number up to about, I think 20 is what the CFL allows. So we're trying to get
Yeah.
up close gradually every year to that 20. But right now we'll be at 16 next year.
That's dope. Yeah. Yeah, no, in Europe it's not that many. You can
Yeah, it's four
Europe mostly is
per
about
side.
four.
yeah. So Devin, I mean, we got you on here, like Coach said. We got some young guys that's in, post grad, JUCO, trying to find their way home. Tell us about your story, man, from you know little league or high school, and how to get you here now. Like,
Hmm.
share with the guys, like, how's it been going, or how's that made you the player you are today?
Right. So I've been playing football since I was like, about 7, 8, playing with pads and all. Been a whole bunch of ups and downs. Rec football was fun. Get to high school, was smaller than everybody in high school, so I was kind of a late bloomer. So I never really put up no big numbers in high school. So I knew like initially I was going to have to either take the D3 route or the JUCO route, just because I just hit my growth spurt late. I was smaller than everybody, skinnier than everybody, shorter than everybody. So once I got that, the game changed a little bit for me. So I knew I was taught in the D3 schools at the time, like in PA, like Delaware Valley, Lycoming, stuff like that. But I just knew that I was a little bit better than what the opportunities I was being presented with. So, I bet on myself. JUCO was really hot at the time. It's not as hot as it used to be, but back in that 2014, 2015, 2016, it was real hot. JUCO was hot before the transfer portal and everything came about. So I think I could have. I told my family, like, look, I can go out Cali and try and get myself a scholarship. I think I can do
Mhm.
that. And they was with it. And I brought my friends with me, and they came out with me and everything. So we all went out to JUCO out Cali, bet on ourselves, and I was at a school called Santa Barbara City College at first. That wasn't the best experience. That school wasn't. They weren't trying to get people out. That was just a party school. So I knew I had to get out of there. So as soon as I got out of there and went to Valley, LA Valley, that's like a D1 breeding factory. At the time, everybody was going D1 out of Valley. They went undefeated 2 years in a row. It was probably one of the best JUCOs in SoCal. So I went there. Had to sit out a year because I transferred within conference. So you got to sit out a year, and my clock was ticking. So that ended up hurting me down the line. But I had to sit out a year, and then I had 1 year to make it count, and played a little 10-game season. We as a team, everything fell apart. Like everybody tried to come to Valley after they got the hype. It's like everybody from around the world tried to come to Valley, and it just was it was like an off the field issue type thing with the team, locker room wise and off the field. So we never was able to come together the way the talent showed. So we ended up going 500, but I was able to do, and we was rotating 4 quarterbacks. It was a mess, but I was able to go out there.
That's a lot.
Yeah, it was terrible,
That's a thing.
but I was able to go out there, and it's crazy because just how the world is now. I only put up 300 yards in 10 games because we was rotating 4 quarterbacks. Our offense wasn't doing nothing. And probably the other receiver that was with me, he probably put up like 450, probably like 150 more than me, just because he was the X and I was the Z.
Yeah.
So I really didn't go crazy or anything. It just, when I got the ball, it was all just crazy plays, like me jumping over people, me just doing like acrobatical stuff, just
Yeah.
crazy stuff. So it looked good. And then I mixed it with my practice highlights too. So I put my practice highlights with my game highlights and put it all together. And it just was really appealing, just because the athlete I am and the size I am. It was just very appealing. So that I was able to shoot that out. Um, probably about, I'd say right after the season. Well, I ended up getting a D2 offer during the season, and I had the choice to either go D2 and leave JUCO early, or finish up my spring semester and take an online math to go D1. And I bet on myself again. I'm like, man, I know I'm better than D2. Like, I'm gonna try and go for D1. I'm gonna try this online math, try to make this work. Ended up
Right.
doing that, and the whole time, probably from December all the way until probably March or April, I'm emailing hundreds of not emailing, DMing hundreds of coaches on
Mhm.
Twitter, like
Yeah.
the same template, just sending it out, like template, like this. Everybody, probably every school in the NCAA probably got that. Like I sent it out I was sending it out to the GAs, bro. Like keep it a beat. I was sending it out to GA. They're like, sorry, bro, I can't do anything about it, but I was sending this to. It don't matter. I was sending it out. So I ended up getting every offer I got. I think basically came from every D1 offer I got came from Twitter. So like
Mm.
I send it out, and out of probably like the 300 email DMs I sent out, I probably got like probably 20 back and probably 10 back that I really wanted. So I
Mhm.
ended up getting like Arkansas, Utah State, Northern Colorado, Hawaii, and then just basically with the online math, I had a whole bunch of SEC schools trying to get me, but I took an online math. And if you take an online math in junior college, you can't go SEC. So, like, I was supposed to go SEC. I didn't go SEC, and I ended up choosing Utah State. And I ended up
Mm.
having Oregon come through at the last minute. It was pretty wild. My whole recruiting thing was wild. Oregon came through at the last minute, tried to offer me, but I felt good about Utah State. I felt like that's the place where I wanted to be. It was a smaller school. I can go there, eat, still play D1, and get a good experience out of it.
Yep.
So I ended up going to Utah State, and that kind of messed me up with the Oregon offer. Like I was basically on the fence about whether I wanted to go to Oregon or Utah State, and I kind of waited it out like throughout the summer. So I'm missing summer workouts and everything. I get to Utah State probably like and like mid-July. So everybody, like all the JUCO guys, majority of them was qualifiers, so they was there since January. I'm getting there in July.
Yeah.
Right.
And the other JUCO guys probably got there in June, probably May. So it's like I'm already behind the ball. And then I didn't know like the altitude factor in Utah being 5,000 feet in the air. Like I couldn't get to like my normal athlete way of moving until like 2 weeks out there, just
That's
by
crazy.
adjusting to the breathing. Yeah, it was
It's
crazy out
different.
there. Yeah, that was wicked out there. We was running no huddle. I was getting adjusted to a D1 offense, D1 lifestyle. You know, it was a lot to take in and try to earn a spot within a matter of like 3.5 weeks. So once we made the decision during camp, it was like, at the camp, it's like that's what we rocking with for the season
Yeah.
until somebody
Right.
mess up. And just my luck, that's almost the best year Utah State almost ever had. You receiver wise, quarterback wise, everything, like everything was clicking. So it's like I was getting my tick, but I wasn't getting the ball. Like we would blow teams out, probably like put up like 40 in the first half, and then I play the whole second half. I get in the first half, but it just be like decoy stuff, blocking, little screen, something like that. But in second half, I play the whole second half. Really didn't get the rock. So basically, once I realized I wasn't going to be like a contributing factor to the team winning in the games, I was like, all right, I'm about to take it all out at practice. Like, y'all going to have to see me every day at practice. Like, I'm going to get better. And the practice going to be my game. You feel me? That's really how I took it. So, like,
Right.
the ones
Right.
they had to see.
Man, bro.
You feel me? Like, they knew they had to see me. Like, and everybody knew I was one. Everybody knew I was one of the hardest receivers. It's just the way, the time, everything happened too quick. So, it's like, we'd do one-on-ones, and it's like the ones coming up to me, they want to smoke. When you feel like you can go with the ones, bro. I'm with the twos and the threes, but you want to come with me. So it's like, but I'm working people every day at practice, working them to a point where the coach is like, yo, we gotta get this dude a shot. But it's like I ended up getting a little bit of a shot in the bowl game, but I barely got the ball then too. But next year, my senior year, I'm really serious, really focused, like super focused at the time. And like I knew like this is my last year to make something happen. I got a Heisman candidate quarterback in Jordan Love, and we just coming back. We already ranked. It just everything was looking sweet for me for real, and I was focused as could be, like on field, doing all the right stuff. Like I was putting weight on in the playbook. We had a new staff. The new staff loved me and everything, and I ended up finding out my girlfriend at the time was pregnant. So it's like that really turned me up. Like I was like, oh yeah, I really gotta get it now. So it's like every day, and then I found that out like the first day of spring ball. So it's like first day of spring ball, like I went federal. Like I was going viral. I was going viral. Like
time to eat now. Time to eat.
Yeah, I got a kid on the way. I gotta eat. So like every day of spring ball, I just was bringing it. Like, and ended up going from, I was wide receiver like 2.5. I wouldn't say I'm wide receiver 2 or wide receiver 3 last year, the year before, but I was wide receiver 2.5, all the way up to 1. And like team captain role, they put me on the posters around campus and stuff like that. Like everything was looking sweet, man. And just I was just, as much as I was focused on the field, once I messed up off the field, it wasn't messing up as far as doing what I did, but it's like the way I handled the situation. Like I had her out there with me, and it was a lot of distractions. I fell off. I wasn't focused in the classroom, so I take it all on me. It's all accountability at the end of the day. I wasn't focused in the classroom. I ended up failing off, and like really, basically, almost essentially kissed my NFL opportunity away. You feel me? So like that, just with that, and that just goes for like the kids watching right now. It's like, please stay focused. Like school and books, that it's going to be all the way up to your senior year of college. Like it can make or break you. Like it don't end in high school. Like it can make and break you at any point. And
for real.
Like, and I almost let it break me. They put me in a wild situation where I was supposed to. What they did was I was supposed to get like suspended from the school, and they ended up letting me stay at the school. But the suspension from the it's hard to explain. Like the me supposed to get suspended took me off the team, right? But it was still pending. So it's like I had to do a whole bunch of appeals, and they let me back into the school, right? And then, but I missed all the summer workouts, and I couldn't get back on the team. So it's like, if the thing would have timed out the right way, I would have been able to play that senior year. Like everything would have worked I would have been able to take a summer course and everything.
Right.
Just small stuff, But like at the end of the day,
That's what it be.
yeah, it'll get you,
The
It'll
small
get you.
stuff, man.
Yeah.
Man, you speak. You say a lot, dog. You say a
Mhm.
lot right now, and a
Yeah.
lot that, like, your story, like, hit so many different
What?
people. You know what I'm saying? Stories right now because your
Mhm.
story. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I
you've
went
been
through
through
all
a lot.
phases,
With yeah,
JUCO, D1, D2, had to
yeah,
go home, get a job, got the baby mom pregnant. Like, I did it
yep,
all, So
yep,
like
yep.
anybody could find a way to relate to, what I got going on.
Yes. 100%.
And and that's how I want to come off. I want to make it that way, because I got cut from JV my freshman year of high school. Like I
Yeah,
had nobody at my high school thought I was gonna go D1. Like if I would have told anybody at my high school, it's like I wouldn't even talk about D1 at the lunch table at my high school because I know they wasn't gonna let it slide. They knew I
Yep.
wasn't going D1, but I
right,
always knew that I had the talent to do it, and that's how it's the same way with the league for me. It's like I know I got not cheated out of my own opportunity because I did it to myself, but it's like I know where I'm supposed to be, but one slip up, prevented me from making it easy. It's like it's not that it's non-obtainable anymore, but it's just way harder than what it should have been.
right.
And I
Agreed.
just got that same drive. Like, look, I know where I'm supposed to be at, and I'm gonna find a way to get there. So that's really where I'm at right now. And then I'll finish up with the last my last, COVID hit. I know everybody can relate to COVID.
Hmm.
Everybody's stuff got messed up during COVID. So COVID, I was supposed to y'all in Florida, right?
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, so I was supposed to after the Utah State thing happened, I didn't have any more D1 clock from JUCO and everything. Like, I really just got the short end of the stick and like every lane possible, I just got the short end of the stick. So my clock ran out and it's like, all right, I got to find a D2 school I can go to. I got one more year eligibility D2. And I was locked in with the coach at West Florida. He is now the coach of the
Remember
receiving coach
this.
for the DC Defenders. And I
Mm.
locked in with him at West Florida, and he was like, "Look, you're good," because West Florida offered me out of JUCO too, but I was trying to go D1. But
Mhm.
I told him like, "Look, I'm locked in with you, coach. Like, we're gonna make this work. We're gonna make." And he been trying to get me for years, so it's like we had everything going. Like everything was supposed to work the right way and everything. And then West Florida ended up going to the championship, winning the championship, and he
Mhm.
ended up getting a better coaching job. But he wanted to bring me with him, but he gets a better coaching job at a D1 school when I don't have any D1 clock left. So we try to do the appeal with his D1 school he's at. We're trying to make this work. And that fell off too. And it's like I was so sold on West Florida is that I wasn't talking to nobody else. So it gets to a point where it's like we got about a couple months till camp, and I don't got nowhere to go, and I'm already old. I already graduated. I got this one, I got one last shot at it to try and make it work, and my only option, kind of, it fell through on me. So it's like I
Right.
ended up having to hit my JUCO coach, who was at a D2 in UVA Wise, a school that not people really don't know about it, but it's a D2
Yeah, I
school.
know about
You know
it.
about it? It's in the
Yeah,
SAC
yeah, I know
area.
what you're talking
Yep.
about.
So I ended up going there, and I knew I had one more shot to make it work. Like same thing as JUCO. I'm like, look, I got one more shot to make it work and show a team why they need to take me. And I took it and ran with. I went all conference first team. I was the number 2 receiver in my conference. I ended up still being number 2 receiver in my conference. I played half the season on like a grade 1 sprained MCL. Still was out there putting up 200-yard games, 10 catch games, like putting up stupid numbers, like crazy numbers compared to anybody else in my conference. Still somehow 2 guys below me stat wise got picked up for camps. It's just how it goes. It's politics, man. And that's
Yeah.
another thing I had to get
Yep.
over with all that stuff, with the combine prep, the training, everything. Just like you just got to understand politics. Like I got to the young guys listening, like. It's politics when you go from high school to college, but when you go from college to pro, it's like it don't even matter how good you are anymore. Like
Exactly.
it
Thank
don't
you.
matter how good you are anymore. It's about who you know.
Tell them.
It's about who you know. Like, and it's frustrating.
For
And
real.
you could beat yourself up all day about it if you don't really just understand why it is the way it is. So that's my kind of thing I'm dealing with now is like accepting the reality of like, look, like you may be better than these guys, but like they did it, you know, they didn't mess up as many times as you, or they were in the right spot at the right time, or they know somebody that you don't know. Like it's stuff that's like out of my control. But what's in my control is now, you know, with this overseas stuff is I can
Mm-hmm.
leverage my film. I could go play in other countries, go get to see the world while
Mm-hmm.
I'm making good money. Like you make more money than you would make working like a regular job in America as in
Mm-hmm.
Mexico. So it's like as long as I can make enough money to, you know, get me by, you know, and stack a little bit of paper on the side, I get to see another country while building my portfolio as an athlete, not only as a pro, but you know, it goes towards if I want to be a coach too. Like, look, I played in this many countries, this many leagues, this is the experience I have. It's like I'm building a
Right.
portfolio and a resume for whatever I want to do football wise after I'm done with the pads, you know. So
Right.
that's why I like overseas. It's fun. It's good. It's great competition depending on where you're at. And then some of these leagues out here are really paying good money. So that's really the difference maker, and it's changed over the years. But I really like the direction that football is going. Like not only in America, but really internationally, worldwide. Like
Yeah.
people are catching on, and it's a wonderful thing to see.
Man. No, you just shit. We ain't even have to host this show. We just had to.
Just let him
You
rap.
gave us you gave us everything we needed. Like, I mean, you said a mouth. I mean, if the kids just listen to your story, like that's enough. You know what I mean? Because like you done seen it, you done been through the whole situation. You've been through it before, the whole portal thing that happened. They don't even know what it like. We talked about that one episode, what it means to have to, you know, say have to transfer to another school and sit out a year and all that stuff. Man,
Hmm.
that's hard. That you know that's some hard stuff to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I mean, you done said it all, man. I mean, Arch, you got something for him?
I mean, I know Devin since like middle school, so I know the story. I mean, I know in like one summer it was like 5'9", 5'10". I see him again like 6'4", 6'5". I'm like,
That's
yo,
crazy.
like I even like, yo,
That
like,
happens though. You know what?
yeah.
And that's the thing about post grad because I've had that happen with some kids in the post grad realm. And see, Devin, you probably are not as familiar with post grad because you went JUCO. Because
Hmm.
I wasn't familiar with post grad either. That's a whole new world. So
Hmm.
post grad pretty much is like junior college, only you don't lose a year of eligibility in your
Yeah.
first year. You know what I mean? Now, if you go second year, then you start losing eligibility. But your first year, you don't lose eligibility. So like you go ball out and get the film and you know things of that nature. And then you can go to Utah as a freshman and you really, you know, you really like 19, 20 years old, you know,
Hmm.
as a freshman, you still
Exactly.
ball out. But you know, you took the path that, you know, we used to have to, you know, see. Um and these kids don't really understand that path. But really I mean, what you've been through is a mouthful, man. Like a lot of these kids feel like you know they going through similar situations as you,
Hmm.
and not being seen. And I've seen kids that come to post grad, and you know they 6 foot, and by the time December come, they 6'3". And you're like, man, what
Like,
happened?
yo,
That's crazy.
What happened? What happened in 5 months?
right.
You 6'3".
Hmm.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So it gave them time to develop into their bodies, and now they just some ballers, and they exactly what D1 want. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? And you got to that level. It just life happens, you know,
Hmm.
and we get unfocused. And you know, I mean, it happens to a lot of people. You know, you get that focus. I was thinking earlier, like, man, I should have just been a little bit more focused. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? And
Yep.
we try to tell these guys be focused, man. And they don't understand what we're saying until it's too late. And we try
Too
to
late.
tell them,
Right.
we try to give them the formula. You know,
Hmm.
and like you just gave them the formula right now. Like you just said, man, be focused, be in the books. You know what I mean? Be on your grind, on the off field stuff. Let that go. Be on. You know what I'm saying? Have your mind focused and get where you're trying to go. But you know, a lot of just still they not hearing it. You
Hmm.
know, I hope they do hear it, but they not.
I think that's what come with it because I didn't hear it myself when I was being
Right,
told the same thing.
right,
You know, it's just about
right,
when you get it. It's about when it clicks in your head. Some click
right.
faster than others. They could change it, and some click a little slower. Too late.
Right. And that's one of the reasons we do this show, is so we can keep talking to guys like you yourself, you know what I mean, and talk to other kids and hear their situation, and just so they can we can try to help it click to some,
Yeah.
because there's some very talented dudes that never even see the NFL. Like the best athletes have not been in the NFL.
In the NFL, I
No.
tell people
Yeah.
the best people
The
not
best,
in the NFL. It's crazy.
yeah, I say that all the time. Like the best athletes, you have not seen them yet. Like the best,
Hmm.
you know what I'm saying? The real Hall of Famers, you ain't seen that Hall of Famer
Hmm.
yet, because
Yep.
he ain't make it there. He ain't get to go there because of one situation or the next. But I guarantee if he did, you would have seen something amazing. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? So
literally.
so it's like, just listen to some of the things that we saying, and take heed to it, and try to apply it to your life, so that you can try to, make it to that next level as you want to. You
Hmm.
know, that's crazy, man. That's crazy what you're saying. Like I was just listening. I ain't even want to ask no questions.
I
Yeah,
Because
think
I
it's just
mean,
a long story. And when Rel said, "I need you to tell me a story," I'm like, because it's
yeah,
just like
right,
the story just you just get it all at once. It's just too
right.
much.
Right. And when you play it back and you actually saying it, you play it back, you were like, man.
Yeah, it's like yo,
Yeah,
literally.
yeah, you like, man, shoulda, coulda, woulda, you know what I mean? But at the same time, you making the most of your situation, you know what I
Mhm.
mean? Now you playing in Mexico, like this show is options, you know what I mean? The
Yeah,
NFL
sure.
is the goal, the NFL is the end goal. That's where everybody want to go, you know what I mean? Then everybody saying, well, the CFL ain't as nice as people think it is, you know
It's
what I mean?
definitely not.
It ain't as
I was in
nice.
the CFL too, man. It's not what people think.
No, it's not what people think. You know what I mean? And then, but it's options. You went to Mexico. I was in Europe. There's different options. You know what I mean? And Mexico is definitely. I'm pretty sure it's paying better than Europe is, because I was in
Mhm.
Europe, and that's why I stopped. Cause I like, you know what, this ain't paying enough. But I enjoy it. But I did get to see. You know what I'm saying? I do now have stories where I've been to Croatia, I've been to Serbia, I've been to
Mhm.
Hungary. I've
yeah.
been to these countries and I wasn't in the military, you know.
Right.
I
Hmm.
wasn't in the
Football.
military to see these countries. I was playing ball and I was enjoying the culture,
Hmm.
and that's one thing that,
You
especially
can't
black
take that
man.
away from nobody.
Right.
That life experience.
Exactly.
Literally.
Exactly.
I tell people that all the time. It's like, especially in that European league, the Mexico league too, but like that European league, since it's like country by country, like
Right.
you're seeing, like when I was in Europe for a month, and I seen like three countries, and I saw three countries in the span of like probably like 4 days, but
That's
I
crazy.
seen
Right.
like four or five countries total, like within a month, and it's like that's type of stuff that people in America are paying thousands of dollars for,
Right.
and I just did it to
Exactly.
go catch some footballs and then it's barely, you know how it is. It's nothing but free time. All you
Yep.
have is like 2 hours of practice every day. Then you just a
Yeah.
tourist all
Yep.
day. So nothing but
Yep.
free. It's a vacation.
Yeah, exactly. You work, so the time difference is so crazy. You sleeping
Hmm.
all morning, you wake up, you go get your workout, you go eat, and
Hmm.
it's like, all right,
All right,
you know what I'm
now you
saying?
tourist now. No, a
You
lot of
go, you
free
go,
time.
right, you go practice a little bit, and then it's like, all right, so what's open tonight? You know what I
Right.
mean? Like,
Yeah.
what, what's up? Where we going tonight? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So, and
And who
that's
you
that's
going
every
for?
day. Yeah, exactly. So it's definitely options. It's not the option that we all aspire to, say make it to, but it
Hmm.
is. There are options, and like I tell guys all the time, your path is different from the next man's path. You
Hmm.
just gotta take your path and cherish that path and embrace it.
Yeah.
And that's what it sounds like you doing. You embracing it. You like, hey, I play in Mexico. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? And that's my league. And
Yeah,
I'm killing it you
for
know,
sure.
and that's what you got to do. You know, now tell me, you know, do you aspire to try to still make it to the NFL, or are you like, man, I'm gonna do this, you know, or what?
So at this point, I know, you know, I turned 26 this year, so I know the reality of it. But people from me, where I want to be, I always told myself I'd be content football wise if I can make six figures playing football. I know it's like
Right.
I might not be able to get that
Yep.
seven, but if I could see six playing football or close to it, I'll be happy. And there's a couple leagues paying that. It's like XFL, USFL. In due time, like they started off at like I think a base pay in the XFL and USFL was like 65, but like it's going to go up. And then on top of that, that's 65 for 5 months. It's like you can go make another 35 in the other 7 months of the
Yep.
year, or
Right.
yeah, seven, you know. So I want to be in a position where I can football can set me up to make six figures every year, and
Hmm.
go on. Like if I can get to that, I'll be happy. But I do want to get to the NFL. My thing right now is I need to get a new agent because I can leverage my film. Like one of the receivers in my league, he's from Baltimore too. He ended up getting picked up by XFL team off of what he did
Hmm.
this season. So people do get
Yeah.
brought up from my league, I guess, and we have a partnership with the CFL. So
Hmm.
it's like but the partnership with the CFL is kind of favored towards the Mexican players versus the American players, but we still
Hmm.
have a connect with them. They're trying to work on that relationship to make it for easier for players to go up and switch between leagues. So I do want to get back to the NFL, but I just know my time frame specifically for the NFL. I probably realistically got like maybe as far as being appealing to a team, a year
Right.
max, 2 years left, max
Right.
2 years.
Right.
So
Right.
I know I want to play and be happy either playing USFL, XFL, CFL, and so funny enough, the Mexican League is just really lopsided. So it's some guys that touch six figures this year, but
Right.
some teams are paying their guys on soccer contracts because their team is mixed with the soccer team. So some
Uh,
guys. So we had Terrence Williams in our league. If you remember him,
Oh
he played
yeah.
receiver for the Cowboys.
Hmm.
He got a pretty penny this year. And then we had Trayvon Boykins, the quarterback for TCU, when they
yeah.
was
Yeah.
with
Yeah. Yeah. I
yeah,
remember
he
him.
was with the Seahawks. Him and they both was on the same team, and that's the team that was paying that bread. So it's like we talk in the league, after the game, the imports always talk.
Yeah. Yeah.
What you get,
Yeah.
what you get.
Imports. I ain't heard that in a minute. People don't know what you mean when you say imports.
Yeah, your other A's, your Americans with you. You talk about how much everybody getting paid, and you start finding out it's like, hold up, some teams got way more money than the other
Yes.
teams. So
Yes.
it's like if Mexico can get to a point where everybody's paying the same, I had no problem making a career in Mexico because they're paying like the difference between Mexican six figures and the CFL six figures. A Mexican six figures, one, Mexico is cheaper than America, and then
right.
two, Mexico they don't tax with what you get paid. Like the league, like what you get paid is literally what you get paid, like no taxes.
Hmm.
The CFL they tax them. Like
Yeah.
my
Yeah.
guys
They
in the
taking
CFL
all
tell me
that
about
check.
how much they don't see all that bread. So
Yeah.
it's like the Mexico
Yep.
League, it has its pros and cons to it. And I feel like within the next, it's like I know that I'm the pioneers of these leagues, and I have no problem with being that guy. But I know within
Right.
the next 20 to 40 years, those leagues are going to be top notch leagues paying guys almost millions. It probably might be millions at that time, but the way football is evolving, like for example, in Mexico, I'll tell you both in Turkey, like girls play football, like girls play padded football.
Yep.
Yep.
Everybody plays flag football. It's like I feel like in other countries like football is more like accepted as playing wise by the community. Like in America, we have a couple girls that play football, but it's like Mexico, one out of every four girls is playing football. Like for a
Yeah.
Yeah.
fact, maybe one out of every three, and
That's
one out of
crazy.
every probably seven is playing tackle football. And it's
That's
like
crazy.
they're trying to build football. They're doing the NFL is doing the game in Mexico. They'll go to different countries and stuff, and people love it. Like, so it's
Yeah.
like we got teams that have like sort of be a team like imagine like a rec team from like your area, right? But that rec team will go all the way from like kiddies all the way up to an adult team. Like that'll be the high school team, that'll be the college team, and it's like that. If you're from that area, that's who you play for, and it's like you build a community, and it's like they grow up together playing football together, just the same way we do, and it's like the women, like everybody loves it, and it's just pushed more. I wasn't in its own way, it's low key pushed more in those other countries versus it is in America, because football is America, so we don't really got to push it. It's just going to be there. But in these other countries, they're really pushing it and trying to make it like a big deal. So it's like I know football is going to expand like crazy internationally within the next 20 to 40 years.
Yeah, for sure.
Right now.
Yeah, because I mean, like I always mention my guy Brandon. He getting a lot of Europeans over at the college football in the U.S. I mean, he's actually he's actually been branded as the top five of influential black figures in college football. Brandon Collier, and he, we when I was in Europe, we talked about getting guys from Europe because there's a lot of talent. I mean, it's very familiar to see a guy that's 6'6", 6'7", playing football overseas. You know what I mean?
Right.
So we were like, man, we got to get these guys, and he did it. And he started. He's networking. He's having lunch and stuff with Nick Saban and things of that nature. But it's crazy. But like you said, it's expanding. It's getting bigger. And it's not surprising to me that football is getting big in Mexico. I know a lot of people that's listening. I'm like, man, they're not playing football in Mexico. They are though.
They are.
They are. You know what I mean? It's not just in Canada. It's not just in the U.S. and not just the XFL. And that new league. What's the new league they have in the U.S. now? Dang it.
Which one? USFL?
USFL?
Yeah, USFL. Yeah, USFL. And that's a lot harder to get in than people think. I did some research on that one, and that's tough. So I mean, those different things. It's options out there, and you just got to keep on. I mean, it all depends on where you're trying to go with it, and like you said, realistically, you understand how the NFL works and the age, plays a part of it. Like they looking for the younger, they can get, the better because they can keep them longer. You know what I mean? And the body, the body's, the body starts to wear down the older you get. So I like that you said that realistically, because there's a lot of cats that, that's still trying, that's 30 years old and like, bro.
Gotta give it up.
Like, bro, just play in Mexico, dog. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, even those leagues are gonna start trying to get the younger guys because they can. Especially with the XFL coming, they're gonna be like, hey, shoot, come over here, we'll pay you more than the XFL. So I mean, so it's good for these kids to hear that, because they get discouraged about not going D1, and just like, NFL is D1, in the professional league. So they get discouraged not going D1. You can go D2 and still make your money.
Right.
You went Division 2 and you get, you got your accolades, you did your thing, and now you still making your bread. Exactly. So I mean, that's the thing that these kids need to hear.
Definitely.
And Archer, we on the high school level, that's the thing they need to hear too, huh?
Oh my gosh.
It's not NFL or bust anymore. That's what it used to be. It's not that anymore, man.
And we talked about that.
Get your passport stamped up. You go get your passport stamped up.
Bro, they don't.
Man,
they don't know. They don't know about the options they have. It's like, offers. D1. Like, yo, you lucky enough to get a shot. Like, you just need a shot. That's it.
Just need a shot. That's really all it takes. All it takes.
That's crazy.
Yeah, we appreciate you, Dev. I mean, we know that it's kids out there, like Coach B said, it's kids out there who have experienced similar things in your story. And I think the most important takeaway is when you fall down, just get right back up, because there's going to be things that happen. Like Coach Bland says, life's going to happen, and you can't really stop it. So it's going to be politics. It's going to be, There's going to be some injuries. There's going to be some setbacks. There's going to be some just different things that happen, good or bad, that impact what you had originally planned. But I mean, it's good for them to hear like, damn, I can make this amount of money in Mexico, go visit X amount of countries, and you feel me, like get that enjoyment, you know. So, like I think the key, the theme of our podcast today was just, you know, options. It's
Right.
For sure.
It's not just one way. You got different routes to get there. So I mean, I heard your story front and back before. I already know how it goes, but it's important to let, you know, the kids nowadays hear. It's important for them to hear, you know, they got a chance. It's a chance for them.
Definitely.
Right. And Archie, you've been at UCF, so you've seen some, you know, guys make it to their highest point. We just talked to a kid to the highest point and then feel like they're at their lowest.
5-star guy out of high school, man. He not back at square one, be at JUCO right now, trying to make his money. So he's seen the highest of the high, he's seen the lowest of the low, but he getting right back up.
For sure. It got no picks, man. Sometimes you gotta go to that low place. You know? Sometimes you got to.
For sure. Man,
listen, we ain't gonna keep you any much longer, man. I appreciate you. Man, it wasn't much to say. You said it all. This show. I'm gonna repost this. This was a good one. I like this one. And I appreciate you for getting on and sharing that wisdom, man. So, man, I mean, salute to you. Good luck this season. Stay healthy.
Yep.
And appreciate you for getting on, bro.
Yep. Thank you. I appreciate
you, Dale. Yes, sir.
Yep, no problem. Y'all can add the Instagram on there too.
What's that? Yeah, give us that real quick before we get off. What's your Instagram? And
DH_era on Instagram, and then Twitter's nothing anymore. Instagram. Twitter, you just go see
Elon Musk messed that up.
Yeah, a whole bunch of memes on Twitter. I don't even be on Twitter no more.
Right.
But Instagram, I post all my highlights, everything football wise. You get to see everything. If you're curious on how overseas works.
Say that again. Say your DM. Give that again.
DH_era, like DH era.
Okay.
Yeah. I text to you, Coach B.
Yeah, for sure. Because I'm gonna put that out there. For sure. All right, man. I appreciate you, bro, man. Good luck. And we'll be talking. I'm definitely gonna tell Archie to hit you up, because I wouldn't mind you, you know, if y'all season's over, you coming out and coaching a little bit in this All-Star game, man. And putting because we do the PGR All-Star game, nothing but the best of the best post-grad players that's trying to make it their last shot. That's their last game of the season, last shot. We have college coaches come out, you know what I mean? So if your season is done, I'd love for you to come in and be a part of that, for sure.
Yeah, 100%.
For sure. When is that? When is that game?
It's in December.
Oh, December? Oh, honestly, I definitely can make that work. What Orlando?
Yep.
I'm hearing back. I'm gonna hear back if we can get UCF for the game. They're still trying to figure it out, but it's Orlando or Florida for sure. Orlando.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to get UCF to host a game.
Yep.
Okay, I was peeping in the highlights. What was the last year at Bethune-Cookman?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
That's
Exactly.
where the FCS Bowl at. You know, I know y'all know about that. I was at the FCS Bowl. That's where me and you played that, Gerard.
Yes.
Very random.
Yep. Yeah. It's some ballers too, man. It's some cats that you will see there and you be like, this kid got it. You know what I mean? They just, you know, like you said, they get the short end of the straw. You know what I mean? And just, you know, like you said, I like that you said, you know what I mean? We're supposed to be ending, but I do like that you said the politics part. It don't come all the way down to talent all the time. You know what I mean? Sometimes it comes down to relationships, who you know, where you been, you know what I mean? Your personality, all that stuff plays a part in it. It ain't just about what you do on the field. You know what I mean? The higher you get, the more you understand that. And I like that you said that, because I mean, I've had kids say, "Coach, why you ain't make it to the league?" I was like, man, that ain't what you think.
Yeah.
Yo,
It
really
ain't what you
sweet,
think.
really sweet at
It ain't
heart.
what you think, dog. Like,
Oh,
you know what I mean? Like you have all the talent you think you got, but there's a lot of cats with talent that ain't make it. You know what I mean? You got, I mean, and we done played with them, you know, and it's just not what you think. So I'm glad you said that because there's more to it than that.
Bro.
So I mean, I like guys like that around the game. You know, I got Dewan Harris. He played in the NFL, and Storm Johnson. He played, and you know Jake Allen. So I get guys that played on the highest of the highest levels. You know what I mean? Just as yourself, because I consider you playing on a high level. You know, if you getting paid to play, you're a professional.
Yep.
Bottom line. You know what I mean?
Yep.
If somebody's paying you to play football, you're a professional. You know what I mean? So I like guys like that around these kids so they can be able to, you know, guide them and say, listen, this is what it is, and be straight up with them. You know what I mean? Because that's what they need. They don't need dreams. You know, they've been sold dreams. They need the truth and reality.
True,
So
yeah, for
yeah,
sure.
you know what I'm saying? So definitely we're gonna keep in touch, and I'm gonna get with you and so we can try to set that up.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, no doubt. We could definitely set that up. I'm definitely
For
for it.
sure. All right, man. Appreciate you, man. Have a good night, man. And like I said, good luck.
All right, yep,
All
same
right,
to
Dad,
y'all.
appreciate you, my
y'all.
boy.
Yep, I'll talk to y'all.
Yes, sir. Already.